This is Alternative Political Analysis, and this video will be on welfare use in America vis-a-vis immigration. And the United States spends 720 billion of the federal budget on means-tested welfare. States and local governments in the United States spend $500 billion a year on welfare. So that's $1.2 trillion a year on welfare. And according to Center for Immigration Studies, welfare use by immigrant and native households study, the welfare use by US born households are as follows. Black is 54.6%, Hispanic is 54.1%, white is 23.1%, Asian is 21.8%, and all US born households is 30.2%. And on US born households with children, black is 81.5%, 76.4% for Hispanic, 40.8% for white people, and 36.4% for Asians. And for all US born households with children, it's 52.4%. And it should be noted that white people account for 49% of the 40 million welfare recipients in the United States. And this brings us on to food aid households in the United States. 44.2% are native black, or 44.2% of native black households use food aid. 46.2% of native Hispanic households use food aid. 15% of native white households use food aid. 13.9% of native Asian households use food aid. 59.8% of immigrant Hispanic families use food aid. 38.8% of immigrant black households use food aid. And this brings us on to food aid households with children. And 75.4% of native black households with children use food aid. 71.6% for native Hispanic. 32.4% for native white households with children. 30.9% of native Asian households with children. 85.8% for immigrant Hispanic households with children, and 66.2% for immigrant black households with children. And this brings us on to Medicaid use by a household, and it's 42.5% of native black households, 42.4% of native Hispanic households, 17.1% of native white households, 15.3% of native Asian households, and 57.5% of immigrant Hispanic households, and 39.8% of immigrant black households use Medicaid. And this brings us on to housing assistance, and 17.9% of native black households get housing assistance, 11.1% of native Hispanics, 3.2% of native whites, 3.9% of native Asian, and 5.2% of immigrant Hispanic, and 8.7% of immigrant black households get And this brings us on to cash assistance, and 20.7% of native black households, 16.7% of native Hispanic households, 6.7% of native white households, 5.9% of native Asian households, 14.1% of immigrant Hispanic households, and 10.1% of immigrant black households. And legal migrants cost $6,000, $234 per household in welfare. Illegal migrants cost $5,692 per household in welfare a year. Natives cost $4,431 per household in welfare a year. So that's 6,234 for legal migrants, 5,692 for illegal migrants, and 4,431 for natives. But apparently, according to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, illegal immigrants pay a total of $11.64 billion a year, and according to the Social Security Administration, illegal immigrants put in $13 billion a year while only taking $1 billion a year out from it. However, the Centre for Immigration Studies, and this has been reported by Newsmax, that migrants cost the United States $130 billion a year, and that migrants cost 41% more than natives in terms of welfare, and 62% of illegal immigrant households receive welfare, and 48.5% of legal immigrants households receive welfare, and 51.3% of all immigrant households receive welfare. And you can see the lady on the right, and she is Belen Cisas, and she is an Argentine student in the United States of America who was brought there by her parents, and she is an illegal immigrant, and she has just proven with her tax form that she pays taxes. And as you can see, there's the border between Mexico and America on the left. However, the reason I did this video is that the Young Turks were trying to say that illegal migrants get nothing from United States welfare system, whereas I had seen evidence recently that this blatantly was not true. And it's one thing to defend social welfare, in fact that is a noble thing to do, but not using facts and making up assertions does not help the case. I would recommend that viewers check out Alternative Political Analysis YouTube channel, subscribe, check out the blog, check out the Facebook page for more interesting posts and videos, including ones on this subject.